the employees have a problem too. They have a bone to pick with their employers. There's a thing called quiet hiring.
And what's quiet hiring?
Yeah, tell us, Dee. You explain it.
Quiet hiring is basically you're at a job. Let's say you work at one of these tech companies that just got, slashed their workforce.
Mm-hmm.
And your boss, Mary, comes to you and goes, Anand, you're doing a great job here, but, we just let go of all these people. We're going to need you to pick up the slack in accounting. You got to, we got rid of Joe. Numbers. We got rid of Joe. We need you to do Joe's job too now.
Do you get Joe's salary?
No, you don't.
No.
And you quietly start doing Joe's work, and that's what it's called quiet hiring.
You're hired. Congratulations on the new gig.
Quiet hiring is going to be very popular this year.
It's going to be very popular. And look, I get it. We complain about quiet quitting. I do understand. I think part of this is like, I don't know, like I've only existed in like startup world. And I think in startup world, like sometimes times are good and you have all the help and it's kind of nice and great. And sometimes everyone has to be willing to buckle down and kind of work a little harder. I think that's part of that culture. But I do see how, especially in more like corporate environments or things like that, you could easily get stacked, more work. And before you know it, your title hasn't changed, but your workload has. I get it. That's not fair either.
Cash.
Ladies and gentlemen, group chat.
Cash.
It's $1 trillion. Hot.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Group Chat. Happy MLK Day. We're recording on Monday instead of our usual Sunday. We got a hot episode. We got a lot of news to talk about. Anand's fresh off of a courtside Laker appearance where he got some hot picks.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So he's feeling good, cruising into this episode, feeling real luxurious. Hot time for football. Got to do a quick little football chat. Big win for Ohio last night.
Yep.
And then we got a lot of news to talk about. I mean, things are ripping. I know we've been talking a lot about the economy, and maybe 2023 doesn't look so good and be careful and trim down your businesses if you can. Forget all that. We're ripping.
Keep spending.
Spend. Buy a Tesla. They're giving it away
Tesla,
now.
buy some Bitcoin.
Buy a Subway.
Good times are back.
Buy Subway as a whole. Don't just buy one. Buy the whole thing. It's for sale.
10 billion.
There you go. So we're talking about that. We're talking about there's a new trend in the workspace. We talked about quiet quitting and all that stuff. There's a new thing. I'll give you a clue. It is also quiet. But I didn't know that this was happening. And we got to talk about what's going on in the workspace trends. And then TikTok, just kind of hanging on, trying to really stay, not get banned. There's all these tactics happening. There's this little kind of battle happening. Will TikTok survive in the US? So we have some predictions around that. We have some other good predictions this episode. Good episode. And then we have a special announcement at the end.
Huge.
The club is open. Let's just say that.
The club is officially open. This is your shot.
It's your shot.
Shoot your shot at the club.
Not bad.
Yeah.
Good slogan.
Yeah.
Okay. You guys ready?
Let's do it.
Yep.
Let's go. Hey, guys.
Hello.
You ready to get into a group and chat about some stuff?
Let's do it.
I am. I'm also excited to talk about football.
Big weekend.
Did you watch any football?
I saw Cincy. I saw Joe Burrow.
Oh, yeah. Ohio's hot.
Bring out the W, man.
That was the single. I was trying to think. That was one of the craziest plays in football history.
So if you don't watch football, which I'm sure a lot of people don't, Baltimore Ravens were playing Cincinnati Bengals to take the lead for the game.
Yeah, it was a Sunday night game, so probably the highest ratings of the day. You have the 5:15 slot. The quarterback's on the 1 yard line. He reaches over. He's an inch away from crossing the end zone, and then they'd go up 24-17 and likely win. Instead, the ball snatched out of his hands, 100-yard return for a touchdown.
Huh.
That's why they call it wild card.
It's very wild.
It's wild.
Was that like controversial? Like
No, it was just
The
a
call?
fluke, insane play.
Oh my
There's
God.
nothing, no controversy. It was just like he was 1 inch away from
I didn't know if
probably.
there was was it a touchdown or not? If that was a controversy.
It looked like it was not a touchdown. They reviewed those plays, so because
Got it.
you have to review because it was a scoring play.
Yeah.
Because other way scoring, so they reviewed it like 100 different ways, and that was insane. All the games are great.
Yeah, I mean, it's the
So what
greatest
happens
thing.
now? I'm the sports dummy. Are we like now? Is Baltimore eliminated?
Baltimore's eliminated.
Who does
Joe
Cincinnati
Burrow.
play?
So Cincinnati plays.
I don't know. It doesn't matter.
Maybe the
We'll
Chiefs.
worry about that
Yeah.
later.
I just
Yeah,
feel like
right
Joe
now we
Burrow's
just
made
watch.
for Joe Burrow's made for the big stage. I just feel like
He
Joe
looks
Burrow,
so cool. He looks
Yeah.
so cool.
He
Joe
needs that.
Cool.
He needs that W.
And then
just seems-
tonight we have Tom Brady versus America's team, Dallas Cowboys. I think it's going to break a non-Super Bowl ratings record.
100 million people, and it's a holiday weekend.
holiday.
It's MLK
Minimum
Day.
40.
Minimum 40.
Yeah.
I mean, this is it.
And this is
Yeah.
an eliminator too.
This is the
Yeah.
eliminator too.
How's Tom?
you-
Tom's been a little rough.
Yeah, he had a bad season.
Bucks aren't the most reliable team, but it's Tom Brady on Monday Night Football
I
on the
don't
wild
know.
card
I
weekend.
want,
It's
I want
America.
Tom Brady,
America.
Joe Burrow, and I want Joe Burrow to win. That's what I want. The changing
want-
of the guard.
Yeah,
Go back
maybe.
to Giselle. It's
That could
over.
be a
No, he's new girlfriends everywhere. Tom Brady's new girlfriend. I see her
Yeah.
on I see her all over TikTok.
Is that the
I have a-
Fashion Nova ambassador?
Yeah.
So that's confirmed.
I mean, I think it's assumed.
Okay.
I have a
Um,
feeling like it was obviously much more than just like I want to play another season, and she didn't want him to, right? Like they were over it. She's like she has a new guy.
Yeah.
A
Right.
jiu-jitsu trainer. Another victim of the mat.
Matt's serious.
You know what we didn't talk about? Anand got his picture courtside at the Laker game.
I
I
did.
saw it. It was so
It
good.
was awesome.
It was a great picture. And you were on TV, the hat.
The hat
That
was
was-
on TV.
They knew
So-
the hat. They knew the hat was there. They're like, we got to get a shot of the hat watching the game.
So we had the group chat guys, Anthony, Dubrow, courtesy
Yeah.
for the seats, and then our good friend Little Wayne was right across the way.
Little Wayne.
The guy from BTS, Suga. I don't know how to
Yeah.
pronounce it, but it's SUGA.
Okay. I didn't even
Sounds
know
like
he was
sugar.
there.
And then Mookie Betts from the Dodgers. Pretty star-studded.
And it was a double
That's
overtime game.
Yeah. It was.
It's really hard to go back a row.
yeah. It's,
I mean, once you go on the wood, it's like sitting first class and then trying to go back to.
And even sitting
is
in a
just brutal.
box or any of those other experiences, it's like there's something even between row one and courtside is like night and day.
I
You know,
mean, is
the-
courtside at an NBA game the best sporting experience that you can have? I mean,
by
what's
far. I think
I don't even feel like
especially the-
ringside at boxing. I don't even feel like that compares. Really,
I
you
mean,
have all
you're-
the stuff in your way.
like
Yeah.
that joke you could trip a referee, that Jay-Z line. It's
Yeah.
true. You can, they run right by you.
Anand spilled his wine on his Jordans, and then the fucking poor guy had to fly across the court to clean.
Oh my god! Oh my god! I think it's the top. I think it's the top of the top when it comes to.
It's basically the Lakers and the Knicks. Those are the two courtside that are the most revered.
But it's just
And the most
basketball. Like
star-studded.
it's almost like they shouldn't let you be that close. Like courtside should be 20 feet back.
No, it's so
I'm
dope.
not
it's
saying
so
for
good.
us. Like for us, it's amazing. I'm just saying for the players. Like you
players,
could
yeah.
literally like
I
triple
can
player
imagine-
on accident, spill
Yeah,
a
I
drink.
Yeah, I can't even imagine the players. They're going at full speed,
Yeah.
and there's people standing there.
Yeah, like spilling their
how do you
popcorn and
even-
shit.
I mean, Westbrook ran over Anthony, right? In the last game you guys went? Or was he with someone else?
That was with somebody else.
But Westbrook ran over him.
Yeah. Get out of the way, Anthony.
That's wild. I feel like it's like we're lucky that exists.
Yeah.
And we're lucky that, if any of those guys had run me over, I'd be in the hospital.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And shout
how
out to
fun.
Abigail, the Kathy that works at the Lakers, for hooking us up with the pics.
She shot the pics.
no, it was
Yeah,
awesome.
she runs social media at the Lakers.
That's great. That's
It's a
good
hot job.
Connect.
You just sit wood every day.
yeah.
I mean, on the
she's-
rare
well-
occasion that we get wood,
Yeah, you get a pick.
you get a hot pick that looks like you've been there every game. Looks like you had season tickets.
Yeah.
So,
You guys look real
I-
comfortable in those seats.
Yeah, it's very
I-
cozy.
for fear of not getting banned of opportunities in LA, there's a super high profile person courtside. I won't say his name. You could say it offline. But as high profile as it gets in LA, wearing a K95 mask. And as soon as halftime comes, takes it fully off. His wife wasn't wearing one and just gallivanting around courtside. Game starts again. TV cameras rolling. Boom, puts the K95 out. Didn't like that. Didn't care for it.
Yeah.
There is a joke that the mask is now like the leftist MAGA hat.
Yeah.
And that might be what you were working with.
I think it basically still is.
And this is a person that, there's a lot of stories that are not very pleasant of business practices.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, hey, you got a virtue signal.
Mask at a stadium feels to me that you're better off staying home if
you believe you're in that much of fear and danger, you should. That's fine.
Because the N95 is not 100% effective.
Nothing is, especially when you take it off at halftime.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's the problem. Even if you wore it the whole time, it'd be like, okay, maybe just like it was dying to get to the game, but it's really paranoid about COVID, I guess. But like if you took it off and were socializing, I mean, come on.
Yeah, and it looked like his significant other did not wear her mask the entire time. So she's still getting coughed
She's exposed.
On. Yeah.
Yeah, and then they go home and I can't wait to hear who this was.
If Ari's a good editor, I'll say it right now.
Say it right now.
Oh my God.
You could bleep that out and give Drama's reaction.
Okay.
I mean, you were underplaying the not necessarily great business. Very shrewd, let's say. Wow. I would not expect that.
Yeah.
Crazy, right?
Okay. You guys want to talk about some news?
Yeah.
Okay. Here's some good news. China, things are looking up. And, they did their zero COVID. That obviously didn't work. There was a lot of protesting and outrage and all that stuff. They sort of just reopened. It seems like kind of completely. I mean, we don't always know exactly, and then there was all this data about COVID rates and people dying and just how terrible it was. And I think that shook a lot of, people worried about the economy because obviously so much of our production comes from there. But what's happening? Things are looking good. And so we're feeling optimistic about it, or what's the report?
Yeah, it's basically saying, well, there's couple things happen. A bunch of banks came out this weekend and said they expect a shallower recession in the EU and UK, which is surprising because everyone expected there to be substantially worse. I think the big scare was on nat gas, that it's going to be like everyone's going to freeze to death. They can't afford it. And what happened? Yeah. The prices dropped, didn't even go up. And then we had in China, I think the initial reaction was this zero lockdown thing was going to cause like insane pressure on the Chinese economy. Yeah. And, when will it go back to normal? My gut tells me Chinese citizens are going to react like American citizens. Once there's some level of normalcy, they are going to spend their way out of everything.
Yeah.
Chinese people, like American people, love to consume. Mm-hmm. And so they've dealt with COVID in a very harsh way compared to Americans did.
Yeah.
So
when it comes to get out and spend. Yeah,
they're going to go to stores. They're going to go to restaurants. They're going to travel. And guess what? The rest of the world is going to be open arms. Like, come on over. Yeah. We've missed all of your money for the last 3 years. And by the way, we're all in a recession now. Fuck it. Please come. Buy our houses, buy our cars, do whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think you're going to see a lot of wealthy Chinese people that, for fear of ever experiencing that again, just leave. So I think there's going to be an exodus of the top 1% in China to various countries, Singapore, Europe, US.
I don't know if you can just do that.
It's hard to get money out of there, but they're going to do their best.
If you're that wealthy, you got to be able to figure it out, right? Because you got to even be scared, not about the next pandemic. You got to just be scared, like, I don't know, what if they just re-lock down, like in the spring? You just really learn.
I think lockdown's done for them. This was their last
I think so too, but don't you think if you were really rich, you'd be like, holy fuck, like you just came out of the last 3 years not being able to do anything, and you're like, I will never take that risk again if I don't
I
have
don't know,
to.
because Anand was talking about his friends in Hong Kong, and they're fine with it.
There is, when I was in Asia in December, there were definitely people from, Hong Kong, Singapore, everyone, and who had much different experiences than we did the last 3 years in terms of restrictions. And they were fine.
America's the only place where it's like, it's our goddamn right to go and cough inside of a restaurant.
Yeah,
I
from
think
my cold, dead hands, you're taking my cruise.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're just spoiled. We get to sit on a podcast and talk shit without fear of the government locking us up.
Yeah.
America's incredible. You could do whatever the fuck you want.
It's amazing.
Say whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah.
And just
Load
live
up on
whatever life you
guns.
want.
Do whatever the hell you want.
I
Talk
saw
shit about
another
the
video-
government while you stockpile weapons.
I
Yeah.
literally saw another video of a toddler with a gun in Indiana. We just have
Jesus.
kids. We have 3-year-olds just walking around with pistols.
It's trending younger, man. It's fucking crazy. Oh my God. Yeah, it's amazing. We're so lucky. But I'm just curious what happens.
And we have order for the most part. Like, sure. Yeah.
We have 100% order.
I mean, compared to other countries, we have insane order.
Well, what's funny is I was watching this TikTok on the top 10 most racist countries. And it was predominantly Middle Eastern countries. And then number 1 was India.
How are they measuring it?
I didn't, it's
TikTok
TikTok.
journalism.
It's TikTok.
Oh, yeah.
And
On the
everyone in
ground,
the
boots on the
comments
ground.
was like, America's the most racist. And I was like, there's no fucking way America's the most racist.
No, definitely
Zero
not.
chance.
Europe is like 100 times more racist than America. I mean, we witnessed a Nazi parade in Sweden firsthand.
And I would agree,
Out in
like
the open.
homogenous societies, like mainly in India and Asia, that do not have diverse religions and groups of people, they're severely racist.
Yeah,
That's why traveling is so important. Like it's a really small dose, but I haven't really traveled that much, especially compared to you guys. But going to fucking Sweden and seeing a Nazi parade down the street that was not like, there was no counter protesters. There was no, like, it was just a regular thing, like how we do fucking, little bike parades here in LA. It's like, whoa, like that felt like, damn, like that exists anywhere. Like I don't know. I'm not saying you should always play the like, well, it's worse at other places. I get it. Like we have our problems and we definitely got to take care of them or try to, but like, damn, man, there's some wild shit happening in other countries.
And if you think about it, it's like a testament. America is the biggest experiment. We gave unlimited freedom to everyone. Say whatever you want. Freedom of speech. And there's order. So it's a testament that humans are actually good people generally.
Yeah, because the problem is we're going to harp on very particular incidents that say that America is broken. But when you think about the number of people and basically in this current moment, everyone has the same fucking opportunities. You can get into the nuances of those opportunities and why rich people get this and whatever. But someone from the dirt in America can make it.
I mean, if you think about all the tech CEOs are Indians, they all came from nothing, immigrated here, and became the most powerful people in the country.
Yeah.
It's also to me like, I'm going to make a big jump here, but it's why like this culture of hating billionaires and hating all this stuff, I think is a little silly. Or like all the people are like, the American dream is dead and you'll never blah, blah, blah. It's just like, to me, what kept all of that order is capitalism and is the opportunity or the thought that you too could become that. And I don't think it's a false thought. I think it's really fucking hard. I think it's like, not necessarily incredibly likely, but it is possible. And people pour in here from all over the world in hopes to make that happen. And I think that's kind of what keeps you like in line and striving to be better and striving to
that's a great point.
Wake up early to go to your store and not go out and cause trouble is the hope that you could maybe one day do that.
I think Barack Obama is the quintessential example of this. Single mother in Hawaii, didn't grow up rich, and became president of the United States.
There's countless. I mean, even
really
Elon
Hawaii?
himself.
I thought it was.
Wait a minute.
Kenyan? You think he's a Kenyan citizen?
I mean, even Elon, who I know is like target number one. I mean, there's all these, a lot of these tech CEOs. Like, there's countless examples, but I don't know. To me, that's what made a lot of the order. We don't have order for the sake of order. I think there's order because you're striving for a better life and you think that that's possible here. In those other places, they're like, we're not fucking, what are we going to do? We need better conditions because we're at the mercy of the government anyway.
Yeah,
totally.
And I think we just, I haven't listened to your Chaos Guys podcast. What's his name again?
Peter Zahan.
Yeah. I actually downloaded it and planning to listen to because I'm fascinated how he predicts the downfall of China in 10 years.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Which I just cannot agree
confidently.
with.
So confident.
Yeah, that's the most insane take. Like you said, if it was 150 years.
He predicts it like in the way that you would predict like
who's winning the game
Coachella's going to sell out this year.
No, exactly.
It's just like no question.
Yeah, no question. And he didn't even like accept the counter argument.
Yeah. But anyway, you got to listen to it.
Okay.
Okay, moving on. Bitcoin's back. You guys want to talk about that? We're hot. Crypto's big.
Stocks are back. Crypto's back. Everything's ripping.
People don't like losing money for more than 12 months. That's the lesson.
Anand might have been not only right, but actually a little conservative. We were both forecasting a comeback in 2024. Anand said, I think, second half of 2023.
Yep.
You might have been right. It might have just started.
I think the reality of this year will be it's going to be extremely volatile. Like, you know, there'll be Jay Powell says one stupid word and thing, the market's down 1,000 points. Ukraine and Russia ceasefire, market rips 2,000 points.
China reopens.
Inflation fears down again. It's just going to be like, I think it's just going to be, there's no way you can have 100% confidence to allocate all back into equities right now, given the environment and high interest rates. But I do believe people will, if they can, like you said, like people are greedy. If they think there's opportunity to make money, they will.
Yeah, there's still trillions of dollars on the sidelines that investment managers get paid to invest.
Yeah.
So they have to do something.
Yeah.
So like we talk about how like venture pretty much took 2022 off.
Yeah.
They're likely taking 2023 off.
Yeah.
But public equity managers don't get paid to do that.
Yeah.
Don't you also think that the moment, whenever they feel like it's right and the pain's bad enough and whatever, like, most of the growth of the last 15 years was fueled by quantitative easing and it was engineered. It didn't just happen. Yep. Don't you think we turn that faucet right back on before too long? Like whether too long means next year or whatever it means, but like, don't you think we just manufacture another rip at some point? Or no? Do you think that they've like sort of learned that was crazy, got us in trouble? We got to be a lot more conservative with it now.
I think the consumer is still strong. There's unlimited capital still waiting to be invested. And we just went 12 straight months of uninterrupted decline. And people are just like, we got to get back in at some point. We talk about the US is the only bastion of like kind of security in terms of the financial markets.
Yeah.
You can't invest in China because they could shut down, lock down. All of Asia is pretty much predicated on China. So you just remove like 2 billion people of like places to invest in. India, still unclear.
Yeah.
Europe, there's no business.
No.
So you have one place to invest, US equities.
Yeah.
I just feel like it's tempting.
Once
that inflation gets under control, I don't know, whatever it is, I just feel like it's so tempting to re-lower those rates and just, it worked for fucking 15 years.
Yeah, I don't mind those 15 years. Let's get another 15.
Rip it. We've had a year off. Let's get back to partying.
Yeah.
Big year off.
Yeah, let's go.
The problem is it's proven, besides the equities market, nothing else has been affected.
Yeah.
Housing has not been affected.
Nope.
People, you go out to eat, you go out to whatever. Even like our friend Mikey was at Delilah last night, Sunday night. He said it was slammed and it was pouring rain.
Yeah, he said there was a line out the door of people standing in the rain trying to get in.
It's pouring
standing in
rain.
the rain. Oh my gosh, man.
That's like what you did at college parties. These are like grown ass adults.
Yes, and
Delilah's hot.
And during an inflationary time, people are saying, I don't give a shit. I will get drenched.
Yes.
And I'm going to have a good time.
I'm going to be in Vegas this weekend for a night. I'm sure it's going to be slammed.
I was with someone last night that was in Vegas, said it was slammed.
I'm sure it's
And the Vegas is a good barometer of the whole country because it's people from everywhere.
Yeah.
But isn't housing a little fun? Isn't housing getting hit? Why'd you say housing hasn't gotten anything?
I don't think in the
I
entire
think in the
country.
secondary and tertiary markets, you're seeing it slow, but
got it.
I don't think anything around here is.
Nothing.
Well, I'm just saying,
meaningful.
even in the rest of the country, like, sure, Phoenix is struggling, parts of Dallas are struggling, but it's not falling off. It's not 2008.
There's not a national decline, and we don't have the mortgage crisis that we had in 2008.
Yeah.
These are all like creditworthy customers for the most part, at least.
Yeah.
There's no systemic risk.
Yeah.
It's.
What I don't get, I would just be really honest, is like there's so many people, I think Elon said this, multiple people have said this, like that there's like a bloodbath coming. And I don't know what they're...
Well, talk to your boy, your Zehan.
Yeah, Zehan said America's hot.
America's going to rule the world in 10 short years. Because apparently nobody else has resources to survive but us.
And the thing, I don't know if we said this off air or on air, because me and John were talking about it. Like that take that China's done in 10 years is so bad because the U.S. would crumble if China's done in 10 years.
Yeah, it would be.
The U.S. relies on them to buy all our goddamn debt.
Yeah.
So
and our medicine,
the U.S. is economically incentivized to make sure China's not done.
Yeah, of course.
Will we just own it in 10 years? Is that the thing?
No, you can't have chaos in China.
I know.
No one in the world can afford China. Africa would be done if China is in chaos.
Yeah, I mean,
they own like everything there.
Yeah, you need China to just.
China's going to be just fine.
Yeah,
we need Dee marching to the national anthem again.
Well, hey, I mean, this guy fucking he had a bold take that I feel like if nothing else got people talking. I just don't see how it's. I just don't see it.
I really want Rogan to have someone to basically counter everything he said, some economic thinker.
That'd be incredible. Okay. So, but the thing is that we started with, and then Bitcoin's up 26% this month.
And I think they're going to find all this FTX money and people are like, it wasn't really fraud. This guy's just an idiot. I actually think, I was thinking about this weekend. I think they're going to find every penny. I think SBF was just a moron.
Might be true.
I don't think he's not Madoff. Madoff was a wizard. Like move the money here, do this, do that. Yeah. I think this guy was just an idiot.
So you think he's getting off?
Yeah, I think he's a moron. He's going to plead stupid.
Yeah, I think Madoff is a premeditated murderer and SBF is a drunk guy that ran over someone crossing the road.
Yeah, he's involuntary manslaughter.
Somebody. Yeah, I think that might be the case. But
I don't think he's so smart. I think he's a dummy.
Yeah, it's just a computer. There's different types of smart, and this guy's like computer nerdy genius, obviously, and fucking regular life, an idiot.
I think he literally did not know the rules because he has no experience, right? He's a child.
It's more like, how do we let him do that? How do all of these incredibly reputable investors and all these people like prop that up? They all supported this moron and said, looks good.
Yeah, because two things can be true. He basically does not know the law and did not know that you can't use customer funds. He could just be stupid.
But don't you think like
it's
those type of with a little prodding
of course it's a crime.
In an interview before you give someone $1 billion, you parse out that the person's a fucking idiot if they're that dumb.
I'll tell you why. Do you remember when there was an information article that Tiger Global was doing term sheets every 36 hours?
Yeah.
If you're giving out a term sheet every 36 hours, do you think you have time to go look under the hood?
Yeah, no.
You can't.
That's it.
We're giving a term sheet every 36 hours. 36 hours?
Well, yeah, those funds were very blunt about.
But that creates FOMO in the market. And everyone
I'm doing it every 24 hours.
I'm doing it every 6 hours.
Yeah, that was every hour a term sheet
Every time I take a shit, I write a check. If I take 2 shits a day, I write 2 checks.
Good bowel movements, then you're writing a lot of money.
If you're very regular, if you're a constipated fund, constipation capital.
Nobody wants to be constipated. You gotta let it rip.
He also played the boy genius, peculiar looking, crazy hair. wearing, t-shirt and shorts.
That part is more fraud to me. That he was like,
yeah.
No, but that's a thing. There's a high-profile startup in Silicon Valley, still private. The founder is like kind of maniacal about giving off boy genius vibes. 25 years old, raised billions of dollars, came down Super Bowl LA weekend, told a person I know, I'm coming down. He doesn't care about sports. He goes, I know all the rich people are going to be here. I'm going to wear my hoodie and just go meet everyone. And they're going to be like, who's this boy genius that's raised billions of dollars, went to Stanford?
Ugh.
That was his like actual thought
Strategy.
process. Yes. And he was privately open about it.
I think that is a strategy. Because also remember there was those texts or
I need to
DMs
get,
or whatever.
I need to get some more hoodies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That Yankees hat, you got to get rid of that.
Yeah,
That's too rich.
No one thinks
Yeah,
boy
that's rich.
genius when they
That's
look
rich.
at me.
Because remember, like there was those messages of SBF essentially saying he like played the system. Like, all you got to do is say the right things and pretend like you're woke, and that works. Into like he obviously was like manipulative. He wasn't like just a happy moron that thought he was doing the right thing. There was some level of manipulation in there.
Yeah, I mean, if you're like the breadth of people that he was able to convince, whether it was Tom Brady or Sequoia Capital, those are very different people.
Tom Brady, you're writing a check. That's easy.
Tom Brady's
And
written
he was
check,
getting a
especially if
check.
I mean,
Sequoia
if-
already written it.
I mean, if FTX gave us a check, we'd be like, yeah, it's the greatest fucking exchange. Go fucking dump your money in there. That's what we would have
FTX
said.
chat. Yeah.
Yeah.
We didn't get it.
No.
Well, the problem. That's why I'm saying like the real problem here to me is the
No,
investment.
but guys like Tom Brady they're so particular about their personal brand. Even Steph Curry, they don't
Yeah.
just do deals. Like he got paid a few $1 million, Tom Brady. He doesn't need a few $1 million.
I blame the Sequoias. I think the Sequoias gave them the stamp that I don't have to do diligence because they did.
Yeah.
Right, that's fair.
Like that's what I would have done. Once again, if they would have given us a check, we wouldn't have even asked a single question if we saw who their
No.
investors were.
I would have lost all my money in FTX. I probably would have moved it.
Yeah, you'd be like, you know what? They gave us $1 million. We might as well
Yeah.
move our account there.
Yeah. What a weird just chain of events. I wonder what happens to that guy. I don't think he does any jail time.
Wow.
I don't. It's changing now. I think it's slowly, it's
Yeah.
just going to get forgotten about on purpose. It's too many people that took money from him that have the
Yeah.
incentive for that not to be illegal.
Yeah.
If he goes to jail, all their money was criminal.
Yeah, and I think it's very like Epstein-esque in the sense that there's
Yeah.
too many people tied to the case.
The
That
first
it's
round
not
of
worth-
Epstein.
Yeah, it's not worth bringing down the house.
But I guess the difference is if the customer funds don't get returned.
The customers, unfortunately, when we're a
Yeah, what
customer,
happened?
like
Yeah.
we get fucked all the time.
Yeah.
Like, when does the customer ever win? Customer always loses.
Yeah, it
Maybe.
just slowly gets forgotten about.
You guys have escalated. Last time it was a 10 to 20% chance he gets off. Now you guys says he's getting off.
Yeah, I'm going for bold takes all 2023.
Yeah.
What's that guy's name? Zarkan or whatever? I'm
Yeah.
going,
Zayhan.
yeah, I'm going his message.
Zarkan.
China's done in 5 years, not 10.
Meet the Zohan. Okay, here's the next one. A bunch of people that I know were telling me last week that there was one person who told me he knew 3 people who bought Teslas. And
Yeah.
like we were kind of joking because he was like, all these people I know just happened to buy Teslas, and then they dropped the price. They dropped the price
Yep.
like pretty meaningfully, like between 10 and 20% on different cars. And all these people had just bought them, and now it's 20% cheaper. But a really meaningful price cut from Tesla on a few cars.
Yeah, this is a big, bold move. Obviously, we know consumer demand is falling. We know that used car inventory is really high. Used car prices are dropping. I know people will signal this as a weak move on Tesla. I actually think it's an aggressive move in the right way, in the sense that they clearly have inventory they have to move themselves.
Yeah.
A 20% discount on like their most popular styles, which is like the Model Y and the Model 3. And so many, I mean, like it obviously probably saw a humongous,
Spike.
increase in demand.
Yeah.
And what it also did, it forced the used car Tesla market to literally crumble overnight. And
Mm.
there was like places like Carvana and CarMax and all these places just literally like were dumping cars over the weekend at like steep discounts from where they were listed. And it's going to put pressure on other cars because like a Model Y, I looked at it like 2 months ago was like near like $700-800. And now it's like $599 a month on lease.
I also think this is a move that they had to do because their market share is declining pretty rapidly. So in 2020, they were 79% of all EV sales. Now they're down to 65% of the EV market.
EV market in a whole.
The EV market's growing, but
So that's
everyone has an EV option.
Yeah.
And price is just, they have price and brand. You have two levers.
I mean, it's the Apple take. The reason why I think that I disagree with that because I think if you get an EV, you want a Tesla.
For the most part, yeah. Like
Right?
I would say
Like,
vast majority.
Unless you want the Taycan Porsche. Like, sure, like everybody has an EV, but if you're going to the market with an EV and that's what the car you want, like, I don't know, like it's like, yes, I want a smartphone. 10 years ago, people were buying Samsung and LGs and I don't even remember all Google phone, all the phones that came out. You saw people with those phones. But ultimately, Apple was the winner because it was just it's like a social status thing to have an Apple phone.
Sure.
Yeah.
If you were to buy an EV today, what would you buy?
I see there's a Mercedes SUV coming out. EV.
Okay, but that's like $150,000 car, probably.
Is it? I don't know.
Not Mercedes. It's not going to be cheap.
It's not, we have two
120.
Mercedes. Neither of them were.
But
100,000.
EVs are expensive in those German cars.
Just
Maybe.
admit it, Anand.
I'm not
You're getting
going
a
Tesla. I'm not going Tesla or Tesla.
Tesla.
I actually feel claustrophobic in Teslas. Not gonna lie, don't like
You
it.
feel what?
A little claustrophobic.
Get the big boy then.
You get the big boy, Model X.
Model X. Get a sunroof, put that thing down. You're not going to feel claustrophobic.
I'm good.
So the point here is like there could be a lot of reasons why, and nobody knows exactly for sure, right? But the answer, like why you would do that price cut, right? There could be a lot of reasons. It could just be like, oh, we're also starting to get production more streamlined, and that's going to get cheaper, and so we can afford to make these cars cheaper, or whatever it is. Nobody knows why, but it is definitely going to cause a rip in sales.
They also saw you missed your estimates by 10,000 cars. Your stock goes down 15-20%.
Let's just crush it and our stock will go up 100%.
Exactly.
Easy. Figure it out later.
Yep.
Okay. Well, either way, grab a Tesla. I mean, and sorry for everyone who just bought one 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
How about this? Subway is just hired advisors looking to sell somewhere in the range of $10 billion is what it will cost to buy yourself Subway as a whole. Jared not included, thankfully. What do you think here? Who buys Subway?
Seems cheap.
I don't know who can buy it.
Who can buy it? Who wants it? Who wants to grab?
It'd probably be a private equity firm, right?
It has to be, right? Like, I don't think a conglomerate's going to buy it.
Just 10 billion. I know it's a franchise model. I don't know what their corporate-owned stores are versus a franchise, but Subway's a global brand. Just the IP of Subway is worth 10 billion.
What's Subway's like last 5 years been like? Like, are they on the decline? Are they on the? Anyone have any idea?
Subway revenue, I think, is $9.4 billion, but I don't know if that includes. Yeah, sales slumped in 2021. In 2022, we don't have those numbers yet.
Their sales are 9.4 billion.
Yeah,
it's pretty wild that only gets you 10 billion in a.
The number of locations has declined for the 5th year in a row.
I think
so they are in the decline.
There was that Jared, incident, and then I just feel like they've been cool since then. Like,
I think the sandwich market's also competitive with Jersey Mike's and Jimmy John's and your local artisanal Subway shop. From a product innovation standpoint, I don't know if they've done what like a Taco Bell has done.
Yeah. I also
Which I
think
think
people are
is-
realizing it's not healthy.
I mean, I don't think anyone gives a fuck about health.
Well, this is what I
Like-
think. I think that like there were kind of these restaurants that were like, let's call it Midwest healthy, right? Like, oh no, this is the
Jamba
healthy
Juice.
option. Yeah, like Jamba Juice. Like we were just selling sugar and like, like this is a healthy option. Look at Jared. Look at how much weight he lost. Look at blah blah blah. And then as people get more educated, it's like, no, that's not healthy. So if I'm going to eat unhealthy, I'm going to go to one of the options that just tastes better. And then if I want to eat healthy, I'm going to go to an actual healthy place. And it leaves you like places like Subway are in this weird limbo zone of like, what even are you?
Yeah, because like there was, so McDonald's is the biggest at 46 billion, then Starbucks at 24 billion, then Chick-fil-A at 16, Taco Bell at 12, then Wendy's, Dunkin', Burger King, Subway, Domino's, Chipotle. This is such an insane stat. Chick-fil-A per location does $5.8 million per location
On 6 days a week.
on 6 days a week.
Yeah, they're hot.
Chipotle does $2.5 million.
And Chick-fil-A makes like 5 things. Like that must be a great business.
Insane.
No, it's nuts.
You have one whole day off, so that's
Is it that good?
expenses, things like that. It's good. It is good. It's not. I mean,
Do you prefer it over Wendy's? I know you're a big Wendy's guy.
I was. I don't go to Wendy's anymore, but yeah, it's better than Wendy's. It's good. It's. I mean,
What
in the
about better
realm of
than
fast
In-N-Out?
food, no, I would never trade it, but a lot of people would. A lot of people think so. But it's just. Yeah, it's good. In the realm of fast food, it is good. It's not like some mind-blowing thing, but people love it. People are kind of culty about it. But just imagine, like, you make like 5 items, you're closed on one day, so you're saving all that money, and every store does $5.5 million. That business must be incredible.
They have 2,900 restaurants across 48 states.
They do whatever they want. You could open one more day if you wanted to, print money, and you're like, nah, we want to go to church.
Yeah, and I don't think they don't franchise. So this is 11 billion to them.
That's wild.
Who? Chick-fil-A franchises?
No, Chick-fil-A retains ownership of each restaurant.
I think I know a Chick-fil-A franchisee.
Chick-fil-A franchises need only a $10,000. Oh, there are franchises.
Yeah. I know
don't know if the
someone who owns a
2,900.
Chick-fil-A.
Wild. Okay. Well, we'll see what happens to Subway, but it doesn't seem very exciting. Maybe a little boring private equity sale.
Okay.
Okay. New partnership with Amazon. Rent the Runway has teamed up with Amazon Fashion. You know, Amazon has been trying to figure out fashion. I think we've talked about it kind of subtly for years, you know, that it's hard. And that's probably an area where Amazon couldn't, you know, threaten, like they've threatened all of these businesses in such a real way, but fashion is kind of hard for them to do. And obviously a lot of fashion brands don't sell on Amazon, but they're consistently trying. And here's their new attempt.
Yeah, I mean, I think a couple things. I feel like a lot of businesses have now kind of realized that like you can't live without Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the number one kind of no for all of these retailers and brands were like, we'll never sell on Amazon. And it's just not possible.
Yep.
Because Amazon controls so much of the e-commerce market. If you do not figure out a way to find a business revenue stream from Amazon, you're kind of just missing out.
Yep.
Like there are people who only shop on Amazon. And so if you can't reach them, then how can you grow your business? And so I think Rent the Runway is one example. And their business has obviously been struggling. And the problem is that they were built on a model that may or may not even make sense. And then on top of that, you add all the increased cost in labor and warehousing and customer acquisition and all of these things. Like, why not just partner with Amazon, who just has better shipping rates, more dialed in from a fulfillment standpoint, already has acquired all the customers. All you have to do is list product. Yeah, your margin sucks, and you could tell me 10 reasons why you don't do it, but like, I just think people are just like, fuck, I don't know where else to get revenue.
Yeah, I agree. And I think Amazon's hungry to figure out fashion and do fashion well. They see that opportunity. I mean, it makes sense. You know, like
Yeah,
I agree with you 100%. I just more and more and more and more people are just using Amazon for everything. And if you can go there and also choose your outfits, why not?
Yeah.
But we'll see what happens. We won't know. This is one of those things you don't know over time. It could be a complete bust. It could be massive in a couple of years. You really have no idea.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here's a new one. We talked about a lot of these buzz terms. Quiet quitting was a big one that I think we were very enamored by, and we talked about a lot on the pod. What I didn't realize is, so, us as more of sitting in kind of the employer seat, I think quiet quitting, we were like, fuck that. This is stupid. Don't quiet quit. But little did we know, the employees have a problem too. They have a bone to pick with their employers. There's a thing called quiet hiring.
And what's quiet hiring?
Yeah, tell us, Dee. You explain it.
Quiet hiring is basically you're at a job. Let's say you work at one of these tech companies that just got, slashed their workforce.
Mm-hmm.
And your boss, Mary, comes to you and goes, Anand, you're doing a great job here, but, we just let go of all these people. We're going to need you to pick up the slack in accounting. You got to, we got rid of Joe.
Numbers.
We got rid of Joe. We need you to do Joe's job too now.
Do you get Joe's salary?
No, you don't.
No.
And you
get
quietly start doing Joe's work. And that's what it's called quiet
and
hiring.
you're hired. Congratulations on the new gig.
Quiet
Well, look,
hiring is going to be very popular this year.
It's going to be very popular. And look, I get it. We complain about quiet quitting. I do understand. I think part of this is like, I don't know, like I've only existed in like startup world. And I think in startup world, like sometimes times are good and you have all the help and it's kind of nice and great. And sometimes everyone has to be willing to buckle down and kind of work a little harder. I think that's part of that culture. But I do see how, especially in more like corporate environments or things like that, you could easily get stacked, more work. And before you know it, your title hasn't changed, but your workload has. I get it. That's not fair either.
We're cut from the cloth of quiet hiring. We're big quiet hirers.
Yeah.
Well, we're just cut from the cloth of like, you got to do what you got to do.
You just got to do the job. You got to get it done.
Yeah, I think none of our businesses raised a ton of money, so everyone was forced to quiet hire.
Yeah.
But I've also quiet fired. I've also like, you hire someone new and that
they quietly don't work out.
Well, no, that definitely worked, or that's definitely happened. But I'm saying like it's also happened the other way. Times are good. You hire all these people. All of a sudden, you kind of get help that also wasn't necessarily planned. It wasn't necessarily like part of your career path. It's just now we can afford to have more people around and more help. And maybe one of those new people picks up some extra slack. Like it's kind of always been for us, I think, a little like loose. You got to do what you got to do for the time. But yeah, I see the argument of if you're at certain jobs and you just get stuff stacked on you, it could be fucked up. So what do you do about it? I mean, this is a article about how to use it to your advantage. What do you do if you're an employee and you're just getting fucking quiet hired all over the place? You got 5 new jobs and the same paycheck.
I think write it out. I think the short term is you write it out, but I think in a very near future, you go sit down with your superior and say, look, I took on these responsibilities. I did it in a time of need for the company. I know we're, going through our situation but I do want to be financially recognized for this. And I think most people will reciprocate and take care of you. But I think you have to take on the role first, not ask for the money before taking on the role.
Yeah. You could also quietly test the job market if you're not happy and think you can get more pay doing more stuff at another company.
Well, I think the harsh reality of every situation is that, you're at your current job, and unless you're leaving the industry, more than likely your next job is going to be very similar, unless you're getting substantially higher pay. So if you're unhappy with your current company or current situation, it may be the industry and not the company. So I think a lot of people, they're at a company and they're like, my company sucks, this. And then they go leave to another company and guess what? It's the same things. It may be more a function of the industry, less than it is a function of that particular company.
Right.
I do think the worst advice that a lot of these type of articles tell you to do, or maybe it's more like, I don't know, online coaching or TikTok or whatever, is like don't do that. Like, don't take on the additional work without demanding a rate and blah, blah, blah. Like, I think the best thing you can do, like you kind of said, Dee, is like make yourself indispensable. Do the work, learn how to do it. Like now at that point, you go in and say, hey, this is everything I'm handling. And in order to replace me, it's going to cost you double because you're going to have to hire either someone, this person, or you're going to have to hire 2 different people or whatever. This is what I'm doing here. I like it, but can I get a bump? I think a lot of these people, though, are starting to have this attitude of like, I'm not doing that. I'm not taking on that extra thing. I don't think that actually gets you very far in your career trajectory.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I think unfortunately you got to kind of do the work and then you get the bump and you make progress.
Yeah.
Okay. Last but not least, TikTok. We've been concerned about TikTok. I have 2 different angles on this. I think it's absolutely horrendous for, young people's attention. Also Chinese data that they have on all of us Americans. I think for that sake, it should be gone. It should have been gone a long time ago. My own personal viewing, I love it, and I'd be sad to see it go. But there's a struggle going on. And TikTok obviously knows that they're under pressure. They want to stick around. It's wildly successful here. And so it looks like they're trying to kind of work out some deals of here's what you could do. You guys could have oversight over us. You could look at our algorithm. What could we do to make the US feel a little better about what we're doing so that you guys don't can us? What do you think?
I mean,
it seems to me like none of it matters.
Yeah, they said there's a $1.5 billion plan to reorganize the company's US operations. I don't know what that means. That means nothing to me.
It means, hey, Congress, don't just
here's
look the other way.
$1 billion to Congress.
Yeah, exactly. So here's $1 billion. We'll invest it in random cities to build data centers and pretend like we're keeping the data here.
Yeah.
And you guys can see our algorithm. If they even did that, it's like, cool. It doesn't matter. It's policing what they see back in China. And there's no way to do that.
And who's equipped in the US government to go through the algorithm other than private tech companies to be like, okay, I understand what you're doing?
I mean, look at
the great senator from Montana.
Yeah. Luckily, Ron Paul.
I can tell you, it's not Mayor Pete.
Imagine Mayor Pete looking the hood of that fucking algorithm.
He's on vacation. I mean, if you think about it, like all of these, like China has spies in every tech company for the most part. It sounds like in the US 100%. Anyway. So you're telling me that there is nothing you could do to that company to not have their loyalty be to send in the data back to China. There's just no way to police that. Who cares if you see their algorithm? That's not the thing.
Yeah. Do you think if China's infiltrated Google and Apple and Facebook and they own TikTok?
Yeah. They're going to be quiet there?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no chance. Plus, it's like you can see the algorithm. You're like, yeah, this shit's crazy. It's addicting as fuck. That's not the issue. And I think it's whatever. But it'll probably work.
My only bone to pick with TikTok, I like you am very engaged and entertained when I fire up the app. Mm-hmm. But what I've noticed recently is not knowing when clips that are posted are from has been a little frustrating.
Because it's like a year old?
Yeah. And I could just being duped like this just happened.
But for them, that's perfect. It's genius. Because if you see 5 days ago on the little gray stamp, you're immediately not interested. Like it's just old. It looks old. It's old. But because you don't know, it keeps you zoomed in and it allows them to manipulate. Like, oh, this one is kind of catching a little late. Let's reserve it back into the feed. Like it's fucking genius. Yeah, everything on Instagram has a timestamp. And so you're like, oh, that was a week ago. I don't care. Where am I even at? I'm in no man's land. They're allowed to keep recycling content. We have videos that will like go from 100,000 to 1 million views like 3 weeks later out of nowhere.
Wow.
They just mix it into the
But your content isn't time related.
Yeah. So, for example, the night of the
No.
Golden Globes, which was last Tuesday,
Mm-hmm.
I opened up the app and I saw a speech of Chadwick Boseman talking about Denzel Washington.
Mhm.
Obviously, I know he passed, so I was like, wait, this clip was like, what is this, 2 years ago, 4 years ago? I have no idea.
Yeah.
But this is why it's so brilliant. It's because
Why are
all
you
they
duped?
care about is that people are
Well,
watching it.
I knew the context of that, but if I didn't know the context of that, I would have been like, oh, this speech would have been from tonight at the Golden Globes.
But
If
here's
I
all that
didn't know it
matters.
was him.
That
Did you-
works.
All that matters is did you watch it or not? It doesn't matter when it's from.
Yeah,
I
it's
watched
retweet.
fucking. Yeah, exactly. So that's all that they care about. Like I said, I literally found myself watching 5-year-old Key and Peele clips. I never even watched Key and Peele. I don't even necessarily like Key and Peele. I just was watching it and it worked. It's like they know what I like better than I know what I like.
Like this dummy's gonna watch Key and Peele.
Yeah, they're like, watch this idiot. Go ahead, serve him the old Key and Peele clip. And I'm like, oh, so funny. Yeah, it's ridiculous. So anyway, I do think these tactics work though. Like, I think this works in government. Like, I think they take the bone. They're like, okay, yeah. We have oversight. We don't want to ruffle
So
any
your
feathers.
big takes are TikTok's not getting banned and SBF is set free.
I might have said very short time ago that TikTok was going to get banned soon. I'm going to go ahead and go today with TikTok is not getting banned ever, and SBF 0 jail time. Yep.
Hot takes.
Wow, I like it.
I'm Zohan. I'm changing my whole shit up.
I
Look
like
at how
Zohan.
much-
More like
I think I like Zohan more than Zahan.
Look at how much we've been talking about Zohan, and I want people to talk about us.
Yeah.
There you go. SBF's free. China's done in 5 years. Speed it up,
Yeah.
Zohan. And and somehow TikTok's still alive, even though there's no China. Okay. What do we got? We got shout outs, news.
Well, the day has come. The
Oh, we're
Chatty
live.
Cathy Club is launching on January 17th, which is tomorrow at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If you are on the whitelist, you will be emailed and you will have the ability to mint the first ever community token from Chatty Cathy Club. On the webpage is our white paper on why we're doing this. The price of the membership cost is $250. It is a one-time fee to mint our NFT. Chatty Cathy Club members will have access to all the things we're talking about, our events, us, the network of all the Cathys. We're fleshing it all out. We're going to hire a community manager with these new funds. There are only 1,000 of these available, and the 5 people that own the most memberships are default guests annually on the pod.
Nice.
So they
Nice.
get to come on once a year, whoever
Yeah.
at that time. And so you can make that an advertisement. You can just come on and bullshit if you want, tell jokes. It's just whatever you want. But the
Imagine.
idea, the idea is if you have a business, I think it's a great move.
Yep.
And then it's really to really support the community that we're building at Group Chat. I think it's going to be awesome. And it's a crystallizing 5 years of listening to the pod.
5
There we
years.
go.
Wow.
5 years. Look at us.
7 away from Rogan. Isn't he 12 or 13?
Yeah.
Hey,
Where's the
we're
Joe
on
Rogan
YouTube,
Club?
right?
Yeah, we're on YouTube.
Okay, good. Because somebody, I was just thinking about 5 years and our listeners and all this stuff. And a guy came up to me the other day and was like, hey, man, is Group Chat on YouTube? And I was like, yeah, I think so. Why? And he's like, I couldn't find it. But that sounds like his fault, not mine. I just want to make sure.
It's Group Chat News on YouTube.
Yeah.
Okay. Because TikTok is, I know our TikTok's having some trouble at the moment because we're banned by the CCP, but the discovery there is unlike it. So many people come up to me and say that they saw us, they found us on TikTok.
Oh yeah, I'll be in like a Zoom intro. I'll be like, "Hey, you're the guy from TikTok."
Yeah, it happens a lot.
Yeah.
It's really good. It's literally it's almost like, because we see our views. It's not like we're massive stars on TikTok, but the amount of people that come up to me, it would feel like we're really, really big there. And so it's almost like they must, I don't know, geo-target, or I don't know. It doesn't match. Our amount of views doesn't match the amount of people that.
Yeah. It's like we meet everybody who
Yes.
has seen the clips.
Yes. It's like they
I mean,
know who
no
we're
matter
around
where
and they
I
serve them
go.
our video.
I mean,
especially if you leave LA, you're 100% getting recognized.
I mean, just LA, I go out to eat. Someone always comes up to me.
yeah.
Local, like very local stuff. It's pretty fascinating. So this is your chance. chattycathyclub.com. Join the movement. Don't say I didn't tell you to sign up. This is it.
And buy as many as you can. You can become a guest.
Yeah, I mean, if you got an advertising budget, it's a cheat code to be an advertiser.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's good. Oh, that's true. Great point. Okay, we got a shout out.
Shout out, yes. Over the weekend, went to our good friend Shemi's birthday. It was at a roller rink. Her and her husband Sohail.
That was good.
Our Kathy's, and a lot of the people at the birthday party are Kathy's. So thank you for listening, and happy birthday, Shemi.
Happy birthday, Shemi.
People were saying like, "Oh, I love group chat."
I wonder if they'll be a part of the club.
Let's see.
Join on in.
I might not talk to people who are not members of the club anymore.
Can't get a Delilah Res with D.
No, it's
Yeah.
dead.
Yeah, that's fair. But if you're in the club, you can
Maybe I'll
literally
ask
go.
Brian if he'll give me a little allocation of reservations I could play with.
I'm
I mean,
sure.
that'd be well worth it.
Oh yeah, I'll go little concierge service.
Yeah. If I was if I just had a company, like I would just get the member or get the club, whatever tokens, whatever you call them, and just do like a whole episode of advertising for my company, a couple reses at Delilah. It's a great, put it on the company card. You're fine.
Yeah.
Do you take someone to Bird Streets?
Yeah, you might end up courtside at a Laker game somehow. I don't know.
And then for those who've never done anything like this, what you pay with your credit card, you don't need to convert to ETH or any of that shenanigans. You pay with your credit card. Automatically a wallet is created. It can be held in the wallet on the website, or you can transfer it to your personal wallet. So if you have a Ledger or if you have a MetaMask or any of these types of things,
If you have a
I suggest not to use MetaMask.
If you have MetaMask, it's probably going to be gone by the time you wake
Yeah,
up.
if you
the
have
next
a
day.
MetaMask, it's probably gone. But like, put it in your Ledger, store it. It could be something you pass on to your kids one day.
That's great. Okay. Well, there you have it. Happy MLK Day.
Yes.
Yes.
Everyone have a great week. We will see you. Are you guys going to record tomorrow?
No, I think we should probably
Okay, so
push
Thursday.
it. Maybe. Yeah.
Okay. So we'll see you Thursday. Have a great week and bye-bye.